You know, Papa, what you used to fan charcoal.
Right.
You've seen it.
Right.
When you fan it, then the charcoal bright red.
It's a call for accountability.
You fan government's charcoal to bright red.
It's a call for accountability.
I enjoy it.
Johnny, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity because I've been seeing you for quite some time. You are doing very good job for the mother Ghana. Remain undaunted.
This is our society,
Right.
and it will take me and you to do it. That's why I always watch Johnny's Bite.
The general watches Johnny's Bite.
Every day.
Thank you very much.
And it's devoid of insults, but straight to the point, factual and fearless.
Charlie, no be joke. The pressure people like Johnny can give you.
No.
You no get grey hair, you go get grey hair.
I'm innocent.
And that's what I'm saying. That the pressure Johnny and his people, the pressure they can give you, you no get grey hair, you go get. So your best bet is not to have hair.
Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. And surely, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. It's the 24th day of March. It's the day the Lord has made. And I'm starting on a biblical and religious note because we know that today is the day set aside for the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, as you can see behind me, to address all of us as a sequel to the cabinet meeting that was held and all the issues that are going on. We're promised that the Finance Minister was going to address us. And it says that it will happen because this will happen at the Ministry of Finance, right? So the Finance Ministry will be telling us what will be happening and give us all the fine details. But this morning, I want to encourage you and start a certain sense of public advocacy and public responsibility and knowing that you have rights, but you also have responsibilities. If you're a taxpayer and you pay income tax in this country, you perhaps may have realized that your income tax, if you're a Christian, is bigger than your tithe. Have you realized that? Your income tax in this country perhaps might be bigger than your tithe. Your tithe is supposed to be 10%. But the total deductions that are made from your taxes or from whatever you earn is more than 10%. So the question is, if you are a Christian and you are able to ask God and press him every day and hold his left and right legs together and ask him to give you everything you are looking for, then you should be able to ask the government that's taking more than 10% of your salary to do what they got to do for you. True or false? True. So now this morning you have one of these. It's called a phone, smartphone, whether it's an Apple, whether it's an Android phone, whether it's Techno, whatever brand you're using, you have a phone. You also have a social media handle, don't you? You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have WhatsApp, you have TikTok, you have all those things. You know also that most of our public officials, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the Finance Minister, and the Finance Ministry, they have social media handles. When they did the Kinky Party, they put it up there. So you should be able to write something this morning. For example, there's going to be a press briefing, but at least this morning, you could actually put up a question or two and ask them, how far? You should be able to ask them, how far? But you expect mainline media every morning, every day, every afternoon, every evening to be the one asking the questions. So you finish paying your tax and then you go and sleep. That's not how to be responsible, to help the government manage their affairs, because they say you have to help us. So it's not just about throwing money at the government or at public officials, but you must be looking at what the monies will be used for. So this morning, whoever is going to manage it, if it's Mr. Kojo Opon-Nkrumah's Information Ministry that's going to supervise this press briefing, or if it's the Finance Ministry that's going to supervise the press briefing, or whoever it is, I say tweet at them. The President has a Twitter handle. The Vice President has a Twitter handle. Most of our ministers of state have social media handles. Most government officials have them. And you can always trace them because when it's election time, they use those platforms to campaign, to tell you things they have done. And usually now the cliche has become that, I had opportunity to meet so and so people during yesterday. I was privileged to have that. They write those things these days as if it's a format or a certain template. So their platforms are there. I want to task you this morning because Johnny's Bite is the people's bite. I want to task you this morning specifically to also type a question. You have a question about fuel price increases. You have a question about cost of living. You have a question about your salary. You have a question about rent. You have a question about standard of living. You have a question about security. You have a question about generally about the economy. You have a question about the exchange rate. You have the question about the whereabouts of Dr. Baumia. You have a question about everything. This morning, I'm encouraging you, tweet at them, text them. Hashtag is Johnny's Bite. Or you can hashtag it your own bite. Whatever way you want to do it. But you must be able to ask a question. Make good use of the phone. Because I tell you what, touch wood, if an accident breaks here, and we are all here with our phones, some of you actually video it and post it before it gets onto mainline media. Correct? Yes. So if you're able to do that, why aren't you able to ask the critical questions? Because some of the people I meet in private, so you walk to an eatery, somebody meets you, and they bounce an idea off you, and you're thinking, wow, this guy is sharp. This lady is sharp. Why haven't they said this? Why haven't they put this on even their WhatsApp status? Are you afraid? They say, yes, they are afraid. I say, what are you afraid of? They say, And I said, don't say, Don't say, hey. Don't say, oh. Ask the questions. Because when those of your family members who live outside, when they pay taxes, they demand for the public good. They demand that their water flows. They demand that their light stays on. They demand that their roads are good. I mean, it doesn't actually make meaning and a lot of sense if you're paying property rate every single year. Property rate, the assembly counts for it every single year. And the road leading to your house is bad. And you are quiet. You are not taking a video or photo to post it. You're quiet. It doesn't make sense that every single year you pay business operation permit and yet the road in front of your shop or your office is bad. It doesn't make sense. So you keep paying and you keep complaining in private. Put it out there publicly. Because I tell you what, the people in authority and the people in power are holding power in trust for you, the people. That is why when it gets to elections, they come and beg you to go and vote for them. They come and campaign to you and tell you all manner of things to entice you, to convince you to go and vote for them. So now you have voted for people in power. There are civil servants who are working on your behalf and earning salaries paid from your taxes. You have a voice. Use it. Join your voice with mine and let's ask the questions. So this morning, that's the first issue I want us to talk about. But there's also something that caught my attention yesterday. And yesterday, the chairman of the Council of State was at the presidency. They gave assurance that, look, we're going to cut our, allowances. They don't earn salaries. They earn allowances. We're going to cut our allowances. People, pull up that, the Word document I sent to you. 20% allowance cut by the 31 members of the Council of State. For the 10 months, it will, for example, translate into this. No, not this one. Okay, let me find it here. I'll find this here. Okay, so the Council of State earns a certain amount of money. Let's say roughly on the average, if they are doing a 10-month cut, 20% cut by the 31 members of the Council of State, it will translate into a certain amount. A savings of about 1.6 million Ghana cedis. And this is so because per the Professor Ya Intiamwa Bedu report, the chair takes a monthly allowance of about 28,000, while the members take about 26,000. Pause. So every month, the chairman of the Council of State takes about 28,000. Then every member of the Council of State, so you have a former IGP, a former CDS, representatives from all other places, they take 28,000 and 26,000. If they are to lose a certain amount of that money, and I'll find it here and share with you. If they are to lose a certain amount of that money, you would actually understand that per the professor's projections, the chairman is taking 28,455. 28,455. And then they are cutting 20% off. That would translate into 5,691. So the chairman is taking 28,455. Translate that, it will be 5,691. So the monthly cut will be 56,910. That's 10 months cumulatively. Okay? And then for 10 months, they will get 910. That's for the chairman alone. That's huge money. Now, the members are taking 26,266. There are 30 of them. Now, if all 30 of them decide that they are going to do a 20% cut, then you will get 5,253.2. 5,253.2. That's what we are going to get from that projection. Now, the question we want to ask this morning is this. The vice president, the president, as we speak right now, takes 47,277. 47,277 cedis. The vice president takes 39,397. The cabinet minister, who is an MP, takes 39,397. And then the cabinet minister, who is not an MP, takes 32,832. And then a minister of state, who is also an MP, takes 30,644 Ghana cedis. A minister of state who is not an MP takes 30,206. And then a regional minister MP will take 30,644. And then the regional minister who is not an MP will take 29,768. Bojidi. Then a deputy minister who is an MP will take 28,760 Ghana cedis. A deputy regional minister, well, we don't have any at the moment, but if we had, they would have taken 28,760. If we had a deputy minister who was not an MP, we have 27,579. And then a deputy regional minister who is not an MP would also take 27,579. The chairman of the Council of State, I've told you what they take, and then the members of the Council of State, that's what they take. So, if, for example, they are losing 5% of what it is that they are taking, then you will understand that they are saving 5,000, 7,000 all. Let's bring that into the Utah conversation. Because the University Teachers Association were asking for a certain pay rise or what is due them. Members within what we call Article 71 holders, including MCs and DCs, including chiefs and other statesmen, had been pressing on UTAG to get back into the classroom. So I showed you what they earn, and if they lose 20% of it, how much it will come to. I've showed you that. Now, central administration, you go to, let's say, University of Ghana, Legon. The vice chancellor of the university doesn't take anything. But the pro-vice chancellor, who is always present, like a rector of an institute, whatever it is, they take 7,000. The vice chancellor takes 9,000, 9,295.24. The pro-vice chancellor takes 7,575.62 presently. Now, this 7,575.62 is equal to perhaps the 20% that any of the people I've mentioned up there, it could match up, because I told you the chairman of the Council of State can afford to lose 5,000 like he promised. So now, if these individuals, the intellectual community, for example, and I know negotiations are ongoing, but if they are taking 7,000, professors, so they are taking 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, this is what they are taking home. Imagine if we also said we are pressing UTAG to say, oh, cut off 20% of your salaries for us. Mind you, what the Council of State takes is an allowance, and they take it on a monthly basis, and they don't meet every day of the week. They don't meet every day in the month. They have selected days, sometimes 3 times a year, sometimes 4 times a year, sometimes 5 times a year. Now, if they have those meetings, they are supposed to be advising the president. And per the law, the president is not obliged to take the advice. So let's say the Council of State, is my cameraman. He advises me that, Johnny, don't wear a blue shirt, wear a red shirt. I say, okay, I've heard you, but I won't listen. Tomorrow, I wear my blue shirt. That's how it works. They can advise the president, and the president can decide to take the advice or not. And with that situation, I've showed you how much they get. I've showed you how much ministers get. I've showed you how much MPs get. Translate it to UTAG, for example. If they decide to cut their salaries by 20% too, and that's why the situation is not equal. So now the key question is this. If we are asking NACPO people also to perhaps say sacrifice a little, cut 20% or 5%, how much of their money will be left? If we're asking national service people to cut a bit of their salaries, how much will be left? If we're asking the ordinary public servant who just got a 4 to 7% pay raise, we say cut 20%, how much will be left? So it means that the political class are in a certain special place. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be a politician, but they are in a very special place. Now, the banger question I want to ask this morning is this. We have been told that we are doing a 20%, 30% pay cut. But nobody in government has been able to tell us that if we cut this 20% and 30%, we are going to, like private sector and all of our citizens contributed to build Ghana's first infectious disease center in a very short while under Senor Hosi and his good friends. The government has not told us that when we cut the amount of money, we are going to put it here, and in this number of days or months, this is the result you're going to see. You see the plot? So you are cutting 20%, 30%, but you're not telling us what you're going to use it for. So we are not able to monitor, evaluate, like the Ministry of Monetary and Evaluation in the past had the business to do. So this is my question to government this morning. On behalf of all the young people of this country, and other old people who also support Johnny's Bite, I'm asking, the 20% and 30%, when you cut it, what will you use it for? And how do we monitor what you're going to use it for? Are you going to use it to build hospitals? Are you going to use it to build chip compounds? Are you going to use it to support NAPCO beneficiaries? Are you going to use it to support national service people? So it is enough to come and say, we are cutting 20, 30%. Show us what you want to use the thing for and give us a timeline, and let us be able to monitor and evaluate and see whether indeed you cut it. And may we not come back to take a back pay for it because we sacrificed now when we are in dire straits. After all, when you finish your service and you take all these monies, they also prepare something for them and they call it ex gratia. So for every 4 years, when a minister is leaving, they take pension and then they go and reapply and come and work again. How many times does a human being take pension? So you are earning more and you are pressing the ordinary citizen to pay more. How? Good morning.